So yesterday in yesterday's session we discussed about what is what is Masterdata info object of type attributes and how to manually maintain data to a Masterdata of type attribute, and and then we created a flat file and loaded data from flat file into the Masterdata info object. So these concepts we covered in our yesterday session, and in today's session we are going to learn about text master data. Okay. So let's take this one. Yesterday we take an example of which examples we taken yesterday. In our session we created one material master data, right? So this is the material master data, and for this material master data we created some attributes added here, and then we perform a data load from a flat file, and we manually also maintained. Now today we are going to discuss about text master data. So where exactly it is? When you go to this master data / text, you go to general tab. In the general tab there is one extra option called text. So this one. So what is this? What exactly it is, and how it helps in by enabling it, what exactly we will get. Okay, these points we are going to discuss today. So when we take one example, employee ID, okay, if we take an example of employee ID, so what is happening? Employee ID is storing information of an employee number, but not his name. Okay, so when the name we are storing, either two ways we can store the name, either separate columns in the table, or we can map it to this info object itself. Okay, for example, when we talk about master data info object of type attributes, in this we are adding the first name, last name, phone number, city, country. These are attributes of this master data. So whichever employee, the corresponding first name, last name, we are storing in separate columns. Okay, it means we are storing them in a separate info object. But if we want to store the name information on the same info object where the employee ID resides, then we need to enable the text of that info object. Okay, what is the benefit of enabling text? You get to know in coming time. Okay, so how to load data? We need to enable text checkbox. So I came to gmaterial info object here. I am enabling this text. So before enabling text, observe here. If I go to Masterdata / text tab, here the text information, whatever I can see here, everything was disabled. Okay, but when I go to general tab, enable text here, then come to Masterdata / text, you see now it was enabled, and by default short text was tick marked. It's up to you which kind of text you want to enable here. Either you can select 1, 2 or 3. Okay, but any one at least it must be there, or it's optional if you can select all the 3 also. Okay, and what is the difference between short text, medium text and long text? Okay, the length is different. For short text it can store up to 20 characters, medium can store up to 40, long text can store up to 60 characters. Okay, so where exactly this comes into picture means at the time of reporting, based upon your preference, anyone you can show it on your report side also. Okay, in general, in real time, medium text or long text we will take. You can take short text also, but if you don't want, you can enable either medium or long. Or if sometimes if we are loading data from ECC into BW, then in ECC there is a chance of maintaining all the 3. So in that scenario, here also we will maintain all the 3. Okay, but if you are maintaining manually, then mostly take medium text, which is of 40 characters. Okay, so I am maintaining the medium text here, and then activating this info object. Because I did the changes, to save the changes I need to activate my info object. So after activating the info object, you see on the text table, because since activation is in progress, earlier it was in disable mode, text table got created. Remember very carefully here, gmaterial is my info object name. So in all the tables at the end, if you see gmaterial, the only difference here is the character after this /bic/. Okay, for data element it is OI, For SID table it is S, master data M, attribute table P, text table T. So for at any point of time, if you wish to see the text table of this G material, you no need to come to this info object and copy this technical name. Okay. So as a consultant, you must remember few things. Okay. Go to S11, give your G material info object name between stars. Give the info object name and give star before and after this info object name and press F4. You can press F4 button, function key F4, or you can click on this one also. So what will happen, all the tables which are available with this naming convention will be displayed here. So this is T table I want. So I am going to display, execute. Since since just now it was created and I am not maintaining any text master data, so this table contains 0 records. But one point which I mentioned here is no need to come to every time here to check your table names. Okay, if you want to open your P table, simply star. If you want to open P table, give P followed by your material name, followed by your info object name, star F4. You see, and press F4, automatically it will populate. If you want to open text table, simply change P to T and you can see the text table information. Okay. Now, so next thing is, now initially check how to maintain this text master data manually, and later we will see how to maintain this text master data via a flat file data load. Okay, how to maintain master data manually? It is common, either attribute master data or text master data. If you wish to maintain for this info object manually, then go to this settings tab. There you can see master data maintenance. Okay, click on it. Then it will open on Chrome, browser, whatever it may be. So if you see here, initial screen, it is showing the attribute master data information. You see time, material group, material type, this one. If you want to maintain text of it, then go to text. You see, if you go to text, what is happening on the text, whatever you have on the attribute master data, for the same keys you are going to maintain the text now. Earlier text was not there, but we are going to maintain it now. M1 means material 1. Okay, M10 means material 10. Just I am giving in this way, just for our easiness. Material 2, like this. Remaining I am not maintaining because I wish to show you how to upload this via flat file also. For that reason, as of now I am maintaining 3 texts here manually. Okay, click on save. Save or save and activate. Better save and activate. Okay, that's it. Text master data, it is always save is fine, but attribute master data, save and activate it. But better always to do perform save and activate. Now I am closing this window. Now what is the benefit of updating this text master data? Okay, now I will show you here. Now I am going to P table of the material. I am going to display content. I have around 28 entries are there. Okay, in the P table here you see, if you want to know what is this M1, since I don't have any name field here, you don't know what is M1 exactly means. Correct? Here, because for an employee example, at least we have first name, last name columns. So you can say easily, okay, this employee means this is the name and all. But for this employee, we don't have any column to represent what is the text of this material. Now, but when I click on M1, next to it, there is one box here. If I click on this box, you see, it is opening like this. When I click on that F4 help, it is coming. Here it is fetching the corresponding text of the material. For M1, M10, M2, I maintained the text. That's why corresponding text I am able to see here, but remaining, since I didn't maintain anything, nothing is showing here. Okay, so at least by maintaining the text master data, by going into this button, by clicking on this button, you can see the corresponding text of that material if it was maintained. Okay, in the similar way at reporting side also, the text will be binded with this info object, so you can easily switch between key and text at reporting. You get to know when we start, reporting section. But as of now, I hope you understand when if we go to P table, if we maintain text of it, then you can see in this way. Okay. But when it comes to middle group 4, here nothing is there, text is not there. So for these things, nothing will come. Okay. I hope it is clear. So now we maintained this text master data manually. Now let's see how to upload it via flat file. Yesterday we created one, one file for attribute master data. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one more data set. Description material 3, material 4, like this. Okay, and then click on save button. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new sheet, because I want to save this data in a CSV file format. I'm copying my data, taking into a new sheet, and saving as this file, save as this sheet as a CSV file. Data sheets, CSV comma delimited, material master data. Here not attributes, it is text. Okay, click on save button. Now close this one. So now after you save the file, it is always better to open it once and see. But when you are opening this one, always remember, never open it in Excel format. Okay, the CSV file which you saved, don't open it in a Excel file format. Always open with Notepad, because here we don't have any intention to change the data. That's why just you are opening it and seeing whether the data is saved correctly or not. Since we can, after confirming, just close it. But if you wish to perform some changes to it, then no option, we need to open it in a Excel format. Small changes can be done in text Notepad format also. Okay, so we have the file ready with us in our local desktop. Now I wish to create one data source. So I'm going to my flat data source tab, flat file. Yeah, already I'm in flat system, because in BW4 HANA system, you can create this flat file directly from the data source section file under your, file system. From here, you can create the data source. But somehow it is, I am not getting that option. For that reason, I am going to my backend to create the data source. So yesterday we created material attribute data source, right? Now we are going to create material text data source. So right click here, create data source. So give the data source name JDS material text. Okay. Now data source type. So now we are going to upload Masterdata text. So it is very important you select Masterdata text here. Remember. Okay. And then click on OK. And then give here material text data source. Extraction. So you want to extract it from a local file. Yeah, it is correct. And then file name. I'm selecting my master text file. Click on open. Yes, header rows are there. For data format separated with comma limited. So change the data separated to comma, and then go to proposal tab, load example data, allow access. 2 columns got created. So material length, you need to change, you can change material length here, or on the next screen also you can do the same. On the next screen, what you can do, you can assign the info object, so that all the information will be taken automatically from this info object. Okay, you see 3 got changed to 18 and everything. What about description? So do we have description info object available in our to us? We don't know, but here, if you go to the text table, if you go to the text table, here you see txt master data. Whatever you have here, it is nothing but one of the standard info object for text master data, text medium data. Okay, you see whenever you give 0 txt md, then medium description is coming automatically, length also got changed to 40 and everything taken care. Correct? So this is the standard info object the SAP given for the medium description kind of information. Okay, and now activate the data source. Once successfully activated, now go to preview and read preview data. So without activating, preview won't work. Okay, that's why I always activate first and then I will go to my preview tab. So once it is done here, now if you refresh your project here, then you can see that data source here under ZSEC material text. This is the data source. Now I am going to my info object G material. Now I am going to 1 minute. I want to show you one thing. If I go to my backend in BW4 HANA, remember as this session is a BW4 HANA, but generally in BW4 HANA system, you don't see screen in this way. Okay, it is totally changed in BW4 HANA. Only on BW on HANA, you can see screen in this manner, but on BW4 HANA, it was completely changed. You don't have this info provider, info object section at all in the B4 HANA system. Okay, everything must be done from the HANA Studio only. Info object creation, transformation, TTP, even this flat file data source creation also must be done from the HANA Studio only or Eclipse. Okay, so why I came here is, here we need to understand one thing because we in the real-time projects we may get a chance to work on B4 HANA or we may get a chance to work on BW on HANA system. So we must know both things. For that reason I came here. Okay, if you see here, here also material number, I opened a different info area. Here also material is an info master data info object where you see this is the symbol of attribute master data. This is the symbol of text master data. Similarly, we have another one called hierarchy master data. Okay, hierarchies. So this is the symbol of attribute master data. This is the symbol of text master data and other one. Okay. In 7. In BW on HANA, if you wish to create a transformation from the SAP GUI, then you must create transformation here like this. Okay, create transformation something like this. Okay. If I go here, as of now, you see it is showing only attributes. But if I refresh my screen, you see, if I refresh, after refreshing my screen, I am able to see text also. So why earlier it is not there, now it is there, because here I enabled text button, right? If you enable this text master data option, then you can see this extra text, one more column for the text. If it is not enabled, then you can see only these attributes. Okay, so if you want to create if you want to wish to load data for text master data, you must create transformation for this node. Right click here, create transformation, like this you need to do. Okay, but since we are learning BW4 HANA, then you must come here and directly click on info object itself, go up here, transformation. So when creating the transformation, here you have an option called subtype. On the subtype, you must select the text. Okay, you must select the text here. If it is BW 7.5 on HANA, then you must create a transformation under this particular text node. If it is on BW4 HANA, where you can see only info object, no differentiation, then while creating the transformation, it is important to change the option here, or else again one more attribute master data transformation will be created. Okay, if you change it to text, now text related transformation is created now. Okay, will be created now. So source of my source is data source. I'm going here, and what is my data source name here? Go to data source section, master data attribute text. Go to F4 help, provide your data source name, press enter. Automatically everything will be filled here. Click on OK. Now material and text both got mapped automatically because of the same technical names, and click on activate. So transformation was completed. Now we are going to create DTP. Okay, so how to create DTP? Now why it is inactive here? I don't know why it was inactive, but let me activate it. Remember, anyway, we got a chance. I'm telling you now. So when it is inactive, I can see here red red color symbol. Similarly, when you see the version is active, but active version not executable. Not executable means it is inactive. Okay. By seeing this version, don't say it is active, but by seeing this active version not executable, you must say it is inactive. If it is inactive, you cannot run the DTP. Okay, only active version can DTP transformations can able to DTPs can able to run. Inactive won't run, it will fail. So activate your transformation now. So where is activation button here? Go to edit one and then activate your transformation. Okay, why it was inactive? Maybe it is inactive because of we updated the property, correct? We came to this GMaterial info object. We came to GMaterial, on HANA Studio. We came to GMaterial and updated the property here and activated. Whenever the parent object was changed, underlying flow will get inactive. Okay, immediate underlying flow. This is very important point. Whenever you perform some changes to the main info object, which is Masterdata info object, the immediate underlying flow, which is nothing but the transformation and the DTP, will get inactive. Okay, so in that case, what we need to do, we must open it and activate it one more time to correct it. Okay, it is our responsibility to activate the inactive transformation. Don't perform any changes, just open it, activate, close it. That's what you need to do. DTP also same thing. So transformation was created for text master data, and then now I need to create DTP for this transformation. Right click on the transformation, new, create DTP. By doing so, what will happen? Automatically the source and target will be updated automatically. Okay, if you're not doing in this way, for example, if you click on DTP folder and if you create a DTP, then here what will happen? You must select your source. You see, by default the source came as attribute master data, which is wrong in our case. Okay, that's why I always suggest you, if you wish to create DTP for this transformation, right click on the transformation and then create DTP, so that the source and target will be updated correctly. Okay, you see now the data source text master data. A small suggestions, that's it. Now coming to the update mode. In the extraction tab. So is it loading data from PSA or make it full? Because since it is a flat file data source, always make sure you update the extraction mode to full, and data extraction you can do it directly from the source system without PSA. Okay, and then activate. So DTP was activated successfully. Now execute the DTP. $25 records got loaded here, and go to your text table. Now you see all the 25 materials got updated correctly. Okay, so this is how how to upload text master data via flat file and how to maintain text master data manually. Okay, now few important points before we conclude this topic. When you're trying to maintain master data manually, for example, later sometime you got a requirement to change the text of this material M23 from material 23 to material 023. Okay, simple, just an example I'm telling here. Okay, for material 23, I wish to change my text from material 23 to, how I wish to change this now? instead of material 23, I wish to change it as material 023. Okay, how I can do this one? Okay, if you wish to change this material you can do it manually because it's only one material change you want to do. So how to do this one? You go to HANA Studio, again go to maintain master data for this info object, open the info object maintenance, go to text. Now if you go to text here, where is M23? Yeah, M23, it is very nearby. For example, here you have 1000 records. You cannot see 1000 records on one screen. You know, it is very difficult for you to search for it and then change it. Okay, in those scenarios, it is better if you can filter that record so that it will be visible on the top, means on the first lines itself. Okay, now I am going to show you how we can apply filter on this data. Okay, how to apply filter. Now here you see on the top there is a column called selection, but nothing is there. If on the right hand side you have an option called this box. If you click on this box, then selection screen will be expanded. Okay, here now give M23 and then click on search button. You see, when you click on M23, automatically your data got filtered to M23, and now simply you can change here 023 and then click on save, or save and activate, anything is fine. Okay, now come back to your backend side, refresh. You see, now it was changed. So why I told you this option is, it is important because by default when you come to master data maintenance, you don't find any option to apply filter here. So very few people may know this option. Okay, expanding it and then finding the selection screen here. Similarly, you can give multiple selection, or you can give ranges and everything you can apply here. Okay, I hope it is clear. So now with this I wish to conclude this material master data info object text. Let's continue one more point before concluding. Yeah, sorry for that. On the master data / text, now we are done with this left part. On the right hand side we have two more options: language dependent, time dependent. So time dependent, it takes some time, so we will see this time dependent later point, but language dependent is important. Okay, so what is this language dependent? Okay, language dependent means we can maintain this text in different languages. Okay, so for example, let's go to Google. Okay, Google Translator. Let's in the English to German. Here give sugar. Okay, so here it is Zucker. Okay, in English we call it as sugar, but in the German we call it as Zucker. Okay, so in this scenario, how to if you this material M23, now let me do one more time master data. M1 means, let's take M1 is nothing but sugar. Okay, now the people who are from India or different US, they want to see the text in English. Sugar is fine, but if the user is German, they want to see the German descriptions instead of English. So this in this scenario, this language dependent comes into picture. So people from different regions want to see their text information on their own native language. Okay, so for those kind of people, we can maintain this text on language dependent. Okay, by using language dependency also we can maintain text for the same material in different languages. Okay, simply like paste in Google also, in Google page also we have this language dependent. If you go to Google page, you see here it is offering in different languages. Okay, in the similar way, our SAP also providing the data in a language dependent way. So what will happen here? Come to this master data, enable this. Okay, before enabling, just we will try to understand. Before enabling this particular table, as of now in the text master data table, you have only two columns, correct? But when I enable this language dependent and then activate my transformation, activate my info object. Now let's wait and see. Yeah, it is activated. Okay, my info object got activated. So how I can get confirmation it got activated? Come back here and now go to text table one more time. You see now a extra column got language, langu got added here. Okay, and now this material and language both are key for this table, because one material I want to maintain multiple language descriptions. So language must also be part of key. Okay, now try to refresh your folder here. Since I modified my info object properties, you see I modified the property of my info object, automatically the underlying flow got deactivated. Okay, so what is flow? What is flow? I am telling multiple times underlying flow. So I wish to show you what is underlying flow here. Info provider tab, right click on your info object, display data flow. Upward and downwards, click on. So this is your data flow. So this is your file system server and you have two data sources, and here from attribute data source we are loading to attribute master data of material, and from text master data source you are loading to the text flow of your in my material master data info object. Okay, so when you did some change to your info object, immediate underlying flow will get inactive. It means what is the immediate underlying flow? Not data source. Immediate means these two will get inactive. That's what you see here. The two transformations got inactive. Okay, so to just what we need to do, open the transformation and activate it. But this is a text master data. So from now on, what we need to do, when we try to load data into this info object, we must load language information also. It is mandatory. So this language information is a lang of length 1. Okay, so let's it be like this. First we will activate our attribute master data, because no changes needs to be performed. Simply activate it, close it. Similarly, activate the attribute master data DTP also. Done. Close this one. Now come to, before we activate this transformation, first we need to modify our data source by including the language field 0 langu. Okay, so what I am going to do now, I am coming to my data source tab. I am going to my material text data source, going to edit button. On the field section, I am trying to add one more. So far we always created the data source with the use of text, flat file. But now I am going to show you how to modify a flat file data source. Means modifying means adding some extra rows to your flat file data source. Simply come to edit mode of your data source. It is important, edit mode, change mode of your data source. Now click on plus symbol. When you click on plus symbol, what happens? One extra new row will be added here. Langu 0 langu is the info object. 0 langu is the standard info object for the language. You see, automatically everything got changed. Internal length is 1, external length is 2. I will tell you what is external length and internal length. Now if you want to keep it in sequence, select the row and change the order. So I can bring this language to the second column also. Okay, and then activate your data source. Now what we are going to do, we are going to upload one more time our data to this info object. Where is our file? So this is our file. Now here I am adding one more column, language, and I am giving here E for English. Sorry, E for English. Save. Okay, now let's try to load this file one more time into our info object. Let's see, I'm a little bit out. Okay, before that we need to change the transformation, right? Come to change mode of your transformation. So 1 second, let me close all this. I'm in change mode of this one, right? That's why it is not here. Let me close here also. Okay. Now open this text transformation. Do one-to-one mapping. Okay, come to edit mode of it. Then do one-to-one mapping to language and then activate it. Because now I'm going to DTP. So which DTP it is? It is attribute master DTP. Close this one. Come to change mode. Here I'm coming to this one. Coming to edit mode. Activate. Now try to execute because I am using the same file. Oh no, wait. Yeah, I am using same file. Let me re-verify whether my data got saved properly here or not. I'm opening my file in notepad format. You see, oh, it was not updated properly. You see, there is no language column in my file. So now what I'm going to do, open this one. Okay, this one also, what happened? Copy language description E material 3 material 4 spelling mistake material save. Yes, now copy this one, take new Excel sheet, now save as CSV file, save as datasheet CSV comma delimited book. You can overwrite this file. Yes. Now try to open this one and see whether it was changed properly or not. Open with notepad. Yeah, now I can see 3 columns. Now I will try to load my TTP because the file path, everything is correct here. I am trying to execute my TTP. Hello. There is a chance of failing here. Let's see. It's not failed. Now come to text table. Execute. Execute. You see now data got updated with EN. Okay. Now you see I told you, right, what is this length? Internal length and external length. I told you now, I will tell you about this one, internal length and external length. When you are loading this information, text master information, you must give E only. But because it is a language field, system when it shows to us, it will show EN. It is an automatic conversion happens based upon this language info object. Okay, this language info object 0 langu /1 rsd1. For this there is one table called T002 table, Masterdata table. You see here, where is E? 44 entries are there. Where is EN here? DE, EN, English. So E means EN, D means DE, CE means CS, something like this. Okay. Now what I am going to show you now is, now we are going to maintain the text master data one more time for this info object with a different language. Okay. I am opening the info object. I am going to maintain master data. I'm going to text master data. For maintain M1 master data, I am removing this material, I am giving sugar here. At the same, at the same time, I am going to add one more line, M1 with DE sugar. Okay, means as we seen earlier, sugar means GUCKER. Okay, this one I'm going to give, and then save and activate. Done. Okay, now come to text table, refresh here. You can see for M1 you have two entries. One is for sugar, another one is sugar. Okay. Now if you come to this one, you see when you click on this F4 help, means this icon next to M1, it is not showing two records for you for M1. It is showing only M1 with the sugar. Correct? Why? Because why it is showing only English name here? Because when we logged into the system, we log in. When login means when you double click on your system ID and giving your user ID and password, below to user ID and password, there is one more option called Logon Language EN. Because we are logged in with EN language, it is showing, sugar. Now I changed my language to DE and then opening it. Now what will happen? All my interface, you see, and the top menu, everything was changed to German language. Okay. Now I am going to this table S11, because Germans they are familiar with German language. They will open their table, interface also in German language. Now when they come here and they wish to see their data, how we are seeing in our English, they are also seeing the data like this only. But when they go to F4 help like this, you see, they are seeing Joker. Because they are seeing only for this and nothing for remaining all. Because this material is a language dependent and only English language was maintained. That for that reason, they are seeing data for only M1 here. For with German language, we maintained only for one entry. That's why for this entry, we can see the description, and remaining all, there is no, data maintained in the German format. So nothing data coming here. Okay. So this is how language dependent master data works. Based upon our Logon language, it will show the description of the corresponding language. Okay. So I hope I tried to explain as clear as possible. I hope it is clear. Okay, so this is the use of this language dependent checkbox. So whenever you maintain this checkbox, it is very important. At the time of data load, you must specify at least one language here. If by default we can load English language, and if you are trying to load different languages, you can give that too. Okay. So yeah, with this point I am concluding this text master data concept. I am stopping recording. So on yesterday's session, we created employee ID master data, and we uploaded some master data to this employee ID by using flat file, and we tried to maintain some master data manually also. Okay, now in today's assignment, what we are going to do is we are going to maintain text master data for this employee ID. Along with this, we are going to maintain text master data for two more info objects. Okay, so now let's see. Now today's assignment is first one, create text master data flow for EMP employee ID. Okay, what exactly it means? So you already have this employee master data info object in your system. So as of now, so what you need to do, you have to enable the text option for this info object, and you need to create a flat file, create text master data flow for this employee ID info object and try to upload text master data from a flat file data source. Okay, here. So second point, in the same point here, enable language dependency property. But for names, do we need language dependency? No, we don't need language dependency for name. Okay, leave it. So as of now, and so what I need to do is update below text master data to emp id from flat file. So what was the examples yesterday we taken here? Employee 1, 2, right? So like this, employee 1, employee 2. So for this, since employee ID, for employee there is no language dependent required, because in any language the name is same. Okay, so that's why for this kind of info objects, the enabling language dependency is no sense at all. Okay, now that's why reason I'm going to give one more example, two more examples here. One is a city, country, enable text master data for the country info object. So what was the name we given for the country info object? The technical name for country is G country, somewhere. Okay, whatever technical name you given in your assignments, you can use that one. Okay, country info object, and enable language dependency property as also. Okay, next one is load below text master data for this info object. Okay, so for example, this is the country technical name, language, and description. Okay, then here in. So here in your extra example, you given int, right? It is a 3. Int means en or e, India. You can write small and cap letters also here, not case sensitive. It is and d Indian. Okay, like this. Then DE English, Germany. So same you can give here like this. Dash. Okay. Deutschland. Deutschland, I think you can give what it is. Okay, so try to update these two, this master data for the country master data. Okay, so I hope it is clear. I'm done with the assignment. Stopping recording.